skipping through time like clouds in the sky. Memories float by, don't let them die. Lollipop dreams and endless sunshine. Hold on to magic, we'll be just fine. Cartwheels in parks and swinging so high. Running through sprinklers, letting hearts fly.
Have you ever felt like your mind is racing, your heart pounding, even though nothing's actually wrong? Like you're watching your own life happen on a tiny screen, endlessly scrolling, always comparing, never arriving. If you're a young person in 2025, you know what I mean. Anxiety isn't just something you feel, it's become the background noise of modern youth. But what if I told you it's not your fault? What if the anxiety epidemic isn't a personal weakness, but a hidden cost of the world we live in, a cost that's quietly draining our hope?
Cherish the moments as we both grow old. Never let go of that childhood joy. Feel the freedom and play with each toy. Hold tight to laughter and summertime songs. In our hearts, you forever belongs.
Let's get real. Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Young millennials, no generation in history has ever been this connected, this informed, or this digitally skilled. But here's the paradox. We're also the most anxious, stressed, and self-critical generation ever recorded. Doctors are calling it the age of anxiety. Therapists barely have enough appointments to keep up. Rates of anxiety disorders in teens and young adults have doubled in the last decade. And in 2025, the numbers are still climbing. Why? People love to blame it on kids these days, like something is wrong with your character, your ambition, your attention span. But the truth is way more complicated. The smartphone, the device you probably have in your hand right now, isn't just a tool. It's rewiring your brain, your social life, and your entire sense of self, minute by minute. Right now, you might be thinking, yeah, I heard that before. Social media is bad, blah blah. But this isn't going to be the same old lecture. This is about the invisible ways your phone is shaping your thoughts, your emotions, and even your biology. This is about the psychology behind why we're more anxious than ever and what nobody's telling you. About the price we pay for life online. So let's pull back the screen literally and figuratively and figure out what's really going on. Imagine waking up not to sunlight or birds, but to a buzzing phone, a dozen missed notifications, and a flood of overnight messages before you even leave bed. Your mind is leaping between group chats, emails, stories, and live streams, as if being offline for a few hours means you're already behind. Sound familiar? Experts now call this the digital morning shock, the jolt of anxiety you get from instant information overload as soon as your day begins. Dr. Ruben Coles, a leading psychologist specializing in youth anxiety, explains, we're wired for small, Manageable amounts of social input, yet modern smartphones expose us to hundreds of social signals. The second we wake up, it's like trying to drink from a fire hose. But it isn't just the volume of information, it's what kind of information you're consuming. Each morning, perfectly filtered faces set the standard you measure yourself against. You scroll through news of injustice, climate collapse, celebrity drama, and viral disasters, all before brushing your teeth. There's a myth that young people are just fragile, glued to their screens out of laziness. But the real story: comparison culture. Every scroll is a silent test. Am I as cool, as fit, as successful? Harvard psychologist Dr. Priya Sandhu describes this as the comparison trap. And her 2020 for research proved something shocking. The more time teens and young adults spent on visual-first apps, the more dissatisfied with themselves they became, independent of friend count, likes, or even actual social activity. Worse, thanks to a new wave of hyper-personalized feeds powered by AI algorithms, the pressure to perform never stops. It's not just about what you choose to see. Your phone now predicts, selects, and amplifies the most anxiety-triggering content automatically. That's no accident. Did you know? The average teen in 2025 gets over 300 algorithm-curated anxiety cues per day. That's 300 little hits of worry and self-doubt every single day, baked into your pocket. If your hands are sweating or your chest feels tight while scrolling, it's not weakness, it's biology. Your stress hormones spike even before you're aware of it. And gradually, the line between digital stress and real-world anxiety gets blurry. Step outside your door, and it isn't just your phone that follows, it's the digital echo of everything you've seen, read, and compared yourself to. Every notification, every ping, every missed reply is its own micro-stressor, a tiny alarm bell that adds up, hour by hour, to a constant low-level anxiety. Let's unpack a myth. Multitasking makes us more productive. You've heard it a million times. Answer texts, watch a show, swipe through news, study, all at once. But neuroscientist Dr. Elaine Cortez's groundbreaking study in early 2025 found the truth is the opposite. Every time you switch tasks, checking a new app, for example, your brain requires a jolt of extra effort to reorient. This jolt releases cortisol, the same hormone your body produces in danger, and sustained levels of cortisol are directly linked to chronic anxiety and even depression. But there's something deeper happening. See, you're not just multitasking, you're living in an attention economy, where your focus is bought, sold, and literally designed to be hijacked. Social apps spend billions to make their notifications irresistible. They use color, sound, and even subtle phone vibrations to pull you back in. James Worth, digital addiction researcher, says these systems are engineered to weaponize your FOMO, your fear of missing out. If you've ever caught yourself compulsively checking your phone, even when you know nothing important is happening, you're not alone. 90% of young people admit to phantom notifications, the false belief their phone buzzed, even when it hasn't. And when you do leave your phone behind, You might notice a sense of emptiness or a sharp spike of anxiety. This isn't just habit, it's dependence. In 2025, experts are calling it digital detachment panic. One college sophomore, Maya, put it this way: every time I try to unplug, I feel like I'm invisible. Like, if I don't exist online, am I even real to my friends? That's the hidden cost. It's not just that phones cause anxiety. It's that the absence of your phone can now feel like a threat to your identity, your friendships, and your sense of mattering at all. Let's talk about myths. Psychology myth number one. Anxiety means something's wrong with you. Fact: anxiety is now a predictable, even rational, response to a world designed for overwhelm. The World Health Organization stated in its 2025 report that youth anxiety is now a major social health crisis, fueled not by individual frailty, but by systemic, environmental overload. But somehow, the message you get is just be more resilient, have better self-esteem, try harder, as if anxiety is a personal failure. Dr. Marta Johansson, a lead researcher in social neurobiology, points out, we now know that most young people are not overreacting. They are overexposed. Our brains evolved to handle tribal social circles of maybe 100 people. A modern smartphone exposes you to more social signals, competition, judgment, and potential rejection than an entire village all before breakfast. Ever heard of ambient trauma? It's a new term in psychology, describing the second-hand distress of seeing endless negative headlines, bullying, or hate online. Even if those things don't happen to you directly, in 2025, ambient trauma shows up as unexplained tension, trouble sleeping, and a weird sense of threat that you just can't scroll away. Online, reality itself feels unstable. Who's actually telling the truth? Are these real friends or just followers? And thanks to deepfakes and AI-manipulated content, certainty is harder than ever. Dr. Sandhu calls this informational vertigo, and for millions, it fuels a constant undercurrent of anxiety, never knowing what's real, who's real, or who's actually got your back. No wonder the classic advice, just put down your phone, feels useless. It's not that simple, because the phone isn't the root of your anxiety. It's the nervous system of your daily experience. Does that mean all hope is lost? Not even close. The truth is, some people are learning to thrive even in the age of smartphone-driven anxiety. Want to know the difference between sinking and swimming in 2025's digital ocean? It's not just about willpower, it's about understanding how anxiety works. What could boundaries actually look like? And learning to use your phone intentionally rather than being used by it. Let's debunk psychology myth number two. Digital natives are naturally better at coping with tech stress. Totally false. A 2025 study from Cambridge shows young people who intentionally train their focus using tools, like mindfulness apps, guided journaling, or even simply putting their phone in another room for an hour a day report up to 50%. Less anxiety than those who don't single quotes T. Another myth. Anxiety is just nerves, it can't hurt you. Well, latest research says otherwise. Chronic anxiety, especially when triggered by constant phone use, has real physical effects: sleep disruption, lowered immune response, and even impacts your memory and learning. Let's bring in the power of agency. Dr. Coles suggests a 3-step experiment, and I challenge you to try it. Track how you feel before, during, and after a smartphone session. Even just 10 minutes. Notice your body. Interrupt the pattern, put the phone down. Take 10 deep breaths and check in with your anxiety. Write one honest sentence about what you wish people online knew about the real you. Viewers who do this are often stunned. Some realize they're far more anxious online than offline. Others discover certain apps or people are their biggest triggers. Knowledge isn't just power here, it's liberation. Stories of digital rebellion are emerging everywhere. High schoolers starting no phone Fridays. TikTokers setting online honesty challenges. College clubs hosting phone-free picnics. Just to remember what real conversation feels like. And with every experiment, the story shifts from helplessness to curiosity to hope. Now let's talk future. It's 2025. AI tools are smarter than ever. Digital realities are increasingly blended with physical ones. What will it take for young people to finally stop feeling like anxiety is their destiny? First, we need to shatter the isolation myth. You are not alone. Recent data from the Mental Health Youth Census: 92% of young people report feeling chronically anxious at least once a week. But most think they're the only ones struggling. Experts say just talking openly about anxiety's tech roots, in friend groups or online, can instantly lower stress. But there are deeper, systemic shifts starting to take shape. Schools are waking up. In Finland, digital literacy now includes classes on cyber anxiety and emotional hygiene. Startups are designing calm tech, creating apps that reward users for taking longer breaks, not shorter. Even some social media giants are experimenting with slow scroll features to reduce doom scrolling. G. Fatigue, psychologist Dr. Sandhu predicts by 2030, ignoring digital well-being will be as unthinkable as ignoring physical safety. But above all, young people themselves are becoming the experts. You are the first generation to grow up fully online, and that means you know the risks and the power better than any adult. Your biggest ally is your own awareness, your ability to critically question what you consume, how you show up, and what boundaries make you feel safe. Let's explode one last myth. You have to be available all the time to matter. No, the real friends, the real opportunities, and the real peace are on the other side of your boundaries. Your worth isn't measured by your number of notifications or how fast you respond. Your value is in who you are offline, too. One day, when you look back, you'll realize your smartphone didn't make you anxious. Your bravery in facing the truth, setting new rules, and reaching out to others made you strong. You learned to survive a world no generation has faced before. If you found yourself nodding, cringing, or just feeling seen by what we talked about today, you're already one step ahead. You're not just surviving smartphone life, you're learning to master it. Now, let's make it real. Drop your truth in the comments. What's your relationship with your phone? Ever tried a digital fast or struggled with notification anxiety? Tag a friend who needs to hear this. Let's stop pretending and start talking. If you want more deep dives into the secret psychology of modern life, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, ironically. Yes, but for the good stuff. Remember, anxiety in a hyper-connected world isn't a flaw, it's a signal. Instead of blaming yourself, use that signal to ask better questions, set better boundaries, and build a life you actually want to live, both on and off screen. This is just the beginning. You don't have to choose between connection and peace. The path forward starts now, one honest scroll, one boundary, one mindful breath at a time. End.